Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed lunch. While our outstanding catering staff is clearing everything, I wanted to welcome you guys back. And the next part of our program is very, very special. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge that this is the beginning of Black History Month, and that we are today less than a mile away from where Martin Luther King gave his great "I Have a Dream" speech. That was 54 years ago. Last year, many of us in this room were moved by the heartfelt and thought-provoking acceptance speech that Alden Morris gave when he was awarded the 2016 Hawkins Prize. I know I was moved. Alden is with us today. Alden, we wanted to know more about you. When you came up here, and frankly, when you began your talk, I had no idea the man that we were about to hear from. We wanted to know more. And we told that to Alden. And he allowed us to come on a very personal journey with him, back to his roots in Tutwiler, Mississippi, and Chicago, Illinois, as a young man. The crew that we have here today, some members of the crew that work with James Noble and Mary Rose are here. And they traveled for a number of days through some airports and lost luggage and buying new sets of clothes and everything else with Alden. So what resulted is the wonderful film that you're about to see. I want to make a note. This film, we had so much footage, much of it ending up on the cutting room floor, but every second that you shoot, you have to look at, review, edit, and we had well over probably 12 to 18 hours of footage. We've condensed it today to 15 minutes, and it will be, we hope it gets much wider distribution at exactly 26 minutes and 30 seconds, which is what the filmmakers are going to aim for in the final cut. But today you're going to see 15 minutes in it, and it is a 15 minutes that shows Alden returning to his roots. This film was directed and produced by documentary filmmaker Mary Rose Senek of New York. Mary Rose cannot be with us today, but I hope she's watching on the webcast. So those of you who are on the webcast, unfortunately, you will not see the film. You have to be here to see it. It's still a work in progress. But without further ado, I'd like to roll that film. Alden Morris, a scholar affirmed.
Say a few words, please. Well, I thank you very much. I want to be very brief because today is the day for the winners of the 2017 PROSE Awards. Having said that, I'm very grateful for this film. I want to thank all of those who put it together, who participated, who had the patience, and of course knew how to edit all kinds of stuff. There's a lot of stuff you all don't need to hear. So again, I thank you, and I look forward to the longer version, and I know that John will take care of everything. So thank you very, very much.
You'd be surprised how fast the police come when you show up with a film crew in Tutwiler. They ended up being a great help to guiding the crew and Alden all through town and helping them find all those places. But initially, I think they showed up saying, "What's going on here?" That was amazing. It's time for the presentation of the 5 top awards of the PROSE Awards for Excellence. There are 50 PROSE categories, and it's winnowed down at this point to 5, one each in humanities, social sciences, physical sciences and math, biological and life sciences, and reference works. Everyone should have gotten a complete list of all the winners and honorable mentions on your chair when you came in. And as you leave, there will be available press release on all of the winners. And you can also go to proseawards.com and see a list of all winners. And we hope, by the way, that your marketing departments, when these great books win, make a big deal about it. Let's have a woohoo moment, man, because it's really, really important what we're doing here. So I would like at this time to ask Maria Palente to come to the stage. Maria, would you join me up here? Thank you. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
We're going to present 5 awards, and we're going to roll credits. And James, when you're ready. The finalists for the 2017 PROSE Award for Excellence in Humanities are Baylor University Press, Destroyer of the Gods, Early Christian Distinctiveness in the Roman World by Larry W. Hurtado. Getty Publications, Cave Temples of Dunhuan, Buddhist Art on China's Silk Road, edited by Neville Agnew, Marcia Reed, and Tevi Ball. Princeton University Press, Bosch and Bruegel, From Enemy Painting to Everyday Life, by Joseph Leo Kerner. Princeton University Press, The Rise of a Prairie Statesman, The Life and Times of George McGovern, by Thomas J. Knock. Oxford University Press, Democracy, A Life, by Paul Cartledge. Yale University Press, Reformations, The Early Modern World, 1450 to 1650, by Carlos M. N. Eyre. Oxford University Press, Linguistic Diversity and Social Justice, An Introduction to Applied Sociolinguistics, by Ingrid Pillar. Yale University Press, Long Day's Journey into Night, by Eugene O'Neill, edited by William Davis King. Oxford University Press, Liking Ike, Eisenhower, Advertising, and the Rise of Celebrity Politics, by David Haven Blake. Cambridge University Press, Mozart's Music of Friends, Social Interplay in the Chamberworks, by Edward Clorman. Princeton University Press, The Philosopher, A History in 6 Tapes, by Justin E. H. Smith. Baylor University Press, Echoes of Scripture and the Gospels, by Richard B. Hayes. Princeton University Press, The Rise and Fall of American Growth, the U.S. Standard of Living Since the Civil War, by Robert J. Gordon. Gale, a Cengage Company, Archives of Sexuality and Gender, LGBTQ History and Culture since 1940. Cambridge University Press, Journal of the American Philosophical Association, editor John Heil. Okay, we're going to open the winner. I've just asked Maria if I can put her on the spot at once we've given the 5 awards. She's agreed to take a few questions. I'm only kidding. But I would love to hear her, since I was not present for the welcome yesterday. I think all of us would love to hear from her again. So the winner is.
And the Grammy goes to Yale University Press. Please welcome the author of Reformations, Carlos M. N. Eyre.
You guys can take those. Move over this way because our photographers. Thank you. We're going to get this right. All right. The The finalists for the 2017 PROSE Award for Excellence in Social Sciences are Berghan Books, Enduring Uncertainty, Deportation, Punishment, and Everyday Life by Ines Hasselberg. Princeton University Press, The Urbanism of Frank Lloyd Wright by Neil Levine. The MIT Press, The Disruption Dilemma by Joshua Gans. Princeton University Press, The Curse of Cash by Kenneth S. Rogoff. Princeton University Press, Keep the Damned Women Out, The Struggle for Coeducation by Nancy Weiss Malkiel. The MIT Press, The Rationality Quotient, Toward a Test of Rational Thinking by Keith E. Stanovich, Richard F. West, and Maggie E. Toplak. Princeton University Press, Democracy for Realists, Why Elections Do Not Produce Responsive Government by Christopher H. Aiken and Larry M. Bartels. Stanford University Press, Crook County, Racism and Injustice in America's Largest Criminal Court by Nicole Gonzalez Van Cleve. Harper Wave, The Well-Tempered City, What Modern Science, Ancient Civilizations, and Human Nature Teach Us About the Future of Urban Life by Jonathan F. P. Rose. Harvard University Press, A Natural History of Human Morality by Michael Tomasello. The MIT Press, Fighting King Coal, The Challenges to Micromobilization in Central Appalachia by Shannon Elizabeth Bell. Elsevier Academic Press, Crime Scene Photography by Edward M. Robinson. American Psychological Association, APA Style Central.
And the PROSE Award goes to Stanford University Press, Crook County, Racism and Injustice in America's Largest Criminal Court by Nicole Gonzalez Van Cleve, and accepting the award is senior editor Michelle Lipinski.
Congratulations. All right. The finalists for the 2017 PROSE Award for Excellence in Physical Sciences and Mathematics are Princeton University Press, Fashion, Faith, and Fantasy in the New Physics of the Universe by Roger Penrose. Cambridge University Press, Computer Age Statistical Inference, Algorithms, Evidence, and Data Science by Bradley Efron and Trevor Hasty. Princeton University Press, The Cosmic Web, Mysterious Architecture of the Universe by J. Richard Gott. Elsevier, A Concise Geologic Timescale, 2016 by James G. Ogg, Gabby M. Ogg, and Felix M. Gradstein. CRC Press, Taylor and Francis Group, Unconventional Oil and Gas Resources, Exploitation and Development, edited by Usman Ahmed and D. Nathan Meehan. University of California Press, Ecosystems of California, edited by Harold Mooney and Erica Zavaleta. Princeton University Press, Strange Glow, The Story of Radiation, by Timothy J. Jorgensen. Cambridge University Press, Mathematical Foundations of Infinite Dimensional Statistical Models, by Everest Jine and Richard Nickel. The American University in Cairo Press, Scanning the Pharaohs, CT Imaging of the New Kingdom Royal Mummies, by Zahi Hawass and Sahar N. Salim. Cambridge University Press, Network Science, by Albert Laszlo Barbarossi. McGraw-Hill Semantico, DataViz Material Properties. American Chemical Society, ACS Central Science, editor Carolyn R. Bertozzi. And the winner is
University of California Press, Ecosystems of California, edited by Harold Mooney and Erica Zavalita. Accepting is Allison Muddett, the director of the press.
All right, congratulations. This is for you. Yes. That's the overweight baggage allowance for the way back. All right. The finalists for the 2017 PROSE Award for Excellence in Biological and Life Sciences are Yale University Press, Hubbard Brook, The Story of a Forest Ecosystem by Richard T. Holmes and Jean E. Likens. The MIT Press, The Distracted Mind, Ancient Brains in a High-Tech World by Adam Gazzaley and Larry D. Rosen. Elsevier Academic Press, Oncology Informatics, Using Health Information Technology to Improve Processes and Outcomes in Cancer. Edited by Bradford W. Hesse, David K. Ahern, and Ellen Beckjord. Oxford University Press, Listening for What Matters, Avoiding Contextual Errors in Healthcare by Saul Wiener and Alan Schwartz. Garland Science, Molecular Biology of Assemblies and Machines by Alistair C. Stephen, Wolfgang Baumeister, Louise N. Johnson, and Richard N. Perham. Team of Publishers, Pediatric Neurosurgery, Tricks of the Trade by Alan R. Cohen. Cell Press, Figure 360, Senior Project Manager Gabriel Harp. Oxford University Press, Virus Evolution. Editors Oliver Pybus and Santiago F. Elena. And the winner.
Oxford University Press, Listening for What Matters by Saul Wiener and Alan Schwartz. Accepting the award is Emily Samulski, Assistant Editor of Neurology and Clinical Neuroscience.
Great. Congratulations. Yes. And finally, the finalists for the 2017 PROSE Award for Excellence in Reference Works are Cambridge University Press, The Cambridge Guide to the Worlds of Shakespeare, edited by Bruce R. Smith. John Wiley and Sons, Rook's Textbook of Dermatology, 9th edition, edited by Christopher Griffiths, Jonathan Barker, Tanya Bleeker, Robert Chalmers, and Daniel Creamer. Bloomsbury, Encyclopedia of Embroidery from the Arab World, edited by Gillian Vogelsang Eastwood. Princeton University Press, The Bees in Your Backyard, A Guide to North America's Bees, edited by Joseph S. Wilson and Olivia J. Messenger Carroll. And the winner.
Cambridge University Press, The Cambridge Guide to the Worlds of Shakespeare, edited by Bruce Smith. Accepting is Beatrice Rail, publisher.
All right. Before we get to the selection of an announcement of the R.R. Hawkins winner, Maria, how have your first 2 days on the job been? Tell us about it.
Hi, everyone. Well, I'll just say very briefly how much I have enjoyed meeting with all of you on the margins of the conference, how impressed I am with what you do, how inspiring it is to be here with these scholars today. And I would just say, clearly, if I'm going to be the CEO of AAP, I probably need to be better read. So I'll migrate out of law, which is what I usually read. If you missed yesterday, Tom Allen, former Congressman Tom Allen, who served AAP for more than 8 years, gave his last set of remarks. And what I would just want you to know is that he has, over the past couple of weeks, been extraordinarily generous with his time with me, I think as a testament to how much he cares about all of you. And so here in Washington, at least with respect to AAP, we have had a peaceful transfer of power. so, so thanks.
That's what it's all about, really, right? So the Reginald Robert Hawkins was, for many years, the chief of the Science and Technology branch of the New York Public Library, and he helped to rebuild the libraries of Europe after World War II. It's really a fitting tribute to Hawkins that after all these years, he continues to have this award, this great award and the great books named for him. The way this works, each of the winners that were just here before us are now competing for the Hawkins Prize, one prize, the top prize of the year. So we'll let you know who that is. I think we'll roll the five again so you see them. The finalists for the 2017 R.R. Hawkins Award are Yale University Press, Reformations, the Early Modern World, 1450 to 1650, by Carlos M.N. Eyre. Stanford University Press, Crook County, Racism and Injustice in America's Largest Criminal Court, by Nicole Gonzalez Van Cleve. University of California Press, Ecosystems of California, edited by Harold Mooney and Erica Zavaleta. Oxford University Press, Listening for What Matters, Avoiding Contextual Errors in Healthcare, by Saul Wiener and Alan Schwartz. Cambridge University Press, The Cambridge Guide to the Worlds of Shakespeare, edited by Bruce R. Smith. And the winner,
Yale University Press, Carlos Eyre.
We'll get one more. Get one more. We're good. Thank you. Now, Carlos, it's a tradition. Where are you, sir?
I'm right here.
It's a tradition that we hear from the winner for a few moments, or maybe even more than a few moments. The floor is yours.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm genuinely humbled. I thank everyone in the panel who judged these books for this award. Seeing these other books on the screen and realizing that mine was the one chosen for this prize makes me realize, well, I've served on panels before. I've been a judge. I've seen how the sausage is made, so to speak, and I know how difficult the process is. I would like to congratulate everyone else who was nominated. I was looking through the list of all the books that were considered, and lo and behold, I found 5 by colleagues whose work I not only admire, but whose work has influenced mine. I'm genuinely humbled. And I also want to say, Alden, it's a good day for Chicago, because I went to Senn High School on the north side, and I wasn't supposed to be here either, given the trajectory. Senn High School on the north side of Chicago was a unique school back in the 1960s. Our principal had a map on the wall of the world with pins on it. And the only 2 continents without pins were Australia and Antarctica. And we used to joke that our foreign exchange student was a WASP from Ohio. So how did I end up writing about the Reformation and what's the meaning this historical period, what's the meaning of history, and what is my book all about? Well, the period known as the Reformation, so roughly the dates on my book, 1450 to about 1700, it's a period of immense change. My argument in this book is that we cannot understand who we are and where we are without understanding this pivotal change in Western history, in human history. The fact that we're all in this room, that we can communicate freely, that we can share ideas, that we can disagree and not kill each other for disagreeing, begins in this period. To understand how in the West people became tolerant of each other, and to understand that to gain that tolerance, to gain the freedoms that we enjoy now, humanity had to go through a very painful period. It's a very painful period of the Reformation, both Catholic and Protestant. But we can learn a lot from understanding that gaining freedom, gaining tolerance is never easy. And that there are many heroes who are willing to give their lives for the development of freedom and tolerance. How did I get interested in all this? Well, I lived through a revolution. I was born in Cuba, came to the US without my parents in 1962. I may be the only living historian of this period who has seen religious images smashed. Just 2 blocks from my house, men with a sledgehammer, bang, 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 knocking the religious images off the school run by the Ursuline sisters. It made an impression on me. And then for a while there in Miami, I was living in a home for juvenile delinquents. Not because I'd done anything wrong, but because that was the only place they could put me. And there was a tiny little dinky branch of the Miami Public Library where my brother and I sought refuge every night when it was open. And I became hooked on history. Suddenly, the past to me became more interesting than the present. The past was a place in which to escape. The past was a place where I could understand why I was in that dinky library in a home for juvenile delinquents. And before too long, I exhausted the children's section, and they allowed me to check out the adult books in history. Those little branch libraries, they can save lives. They saved mine. Right? The past is what we have as our identity. Anyone who develops amnesia, who loses their memory, basically loses their life. Why is the past so important? Why is history important? Because, as the Spanish philosopher who ended up in the United States, George Santayana, said, those who don't know the past are doomed to repeat it. It's our memory. And a period of the Reformations. And why the plural? Reformations with an S at the end. Because there were various reformations. There were multiple reformations. Of course, it all began with Martin Luther in 1517, and this year we're celebrating the 500th anniversary, and you're all going to get sick of hearing about the anniversary of the Reformation. But there ended up being multiple reformations. The Protestants, divided into subgroups, and the Catholics. Everyone was into reforming, into changing, and everyone wanted to change life for the better. That's what reformers do. Some reformers think that making life better means taking over and telling everyone else what to do. That's not real reforming, but in this period you have all these different sorts of people wanting to change the world and to make it better. And lo and behold, about certainly 200 years after it all began in 1517, by 1717, principles of freedom of conscience, freedom of religion, freedom of expression, freedom to dialogue, freedom to exchange ideas, had gained a very firm foothold among the elites who set the tone for everyone else. And in places like Holland, not just the elites, people got along. I know of one town in southern Germany where actually Lutherans and Catholics shared the same church building. And no elites were telling them to do this. This was from the bottom up. But to cut to the chase, Reformation's plural, not just the past, continues today. One thing I've learned, not just by being a refugee, because that's what I am, I actually had the status of refugee until I was in college. Being a refugee, fleeing from one of the most oppressive places on earth, a place that is still to this day, right now, as we're speaking, as I'm speaking and you're listening, one of the most repressive governments on earth that has only become worse since the so-called normalization circus was put into place in late 2014. Freedom is very fragile. Freedom of speech is very fragile. The freedom to exchange ideas calmly, rationally, allowing the other to speak with full dignity is very fragile, immensely fragile. The era of the Reformations was an era where everything was polarized. There was black and white, and God help anyone who was in the gray area. You had to choose sides. End result is a lot of suffering for several generations before people realize, look, it's better to speak freely and accept each other for what we are. Freedom is fragile. But books. There's nothing that dictators fear more than freedom of expression. There's nothing that dictators fear more than books. This association, the authors and the editors, all deserve medals for keeping this going. All my books, including this one, are banned in Cuba. In Cuba, I'm an enemy of the state, and I cannot return. I could return, but it's risky, immensely risky. So, let's hang on to our freedom. Let's hang on to it. Let's keep publishing books. Let's keep publishing books that annoy people, that anger people, on all bands of the spectrum. This is the thing about, lately refugees are on everybody's mind. Refugees are people who are fleeing repression. When it comes to refugees, yes, sometimes the left or right is involved. Are these people fleeing a rightist regime, or are they fleeing a leftist regime, or something else? A refugee is a refugee. A refugee is someone who's looking for peace, tranquility, and in our century, freedom. Books. Books can help enlighten everyone to the fact that the freedom that refugees seek is in fact very fragile, immensely fragile. But in closing, I just want to thank my wife, Jane, for putting up with a project that took 17 years from start to finish. All those days and nights holed up in my study with the sign inside my door warning me when I go out to the rest of the house, danger, high explosives. And I want to thank my editor, Christopher Rogers, and I want to thank the chief editor at Yale Press, John Donatich, for all their support, for the patience they had for a book that was first proposed in 1999. And I finally brought to completion just last year. But I'm honored and humbled, and I thank everyone involved in this process. Thank you.
Thank you, Carlos. I am enriched. I hope you are too, by this entire luncheon celebration of the greatness in our industry. I want to thank you all for being here. We'll see you this time next year, and go out and make it an even better day tomorrow for our great industry. Thank you very much. Thanks to all who participated.